So I think that we've gotten that point across and about the business. I want to shift to talking about the personal so we can kind of wrap up with the personal side of this, because there are lots of reasons in my years of experience, and certainly in yours, I'm sure, that I see why minorities struggle on the individual and the credit side, which also means that they can't feed the business side. So I would like to talk about a couple of those things, and if you're okay with me starting that out. That, goes back to education. So I know you can certainly hit upon that front. We don't always have the education about credit individually to build and develop our upper end goals. So whether that's home ownership, business ownership, anything like that, you really have to be on top of your personal credit for those things to happen. And so we see lack of education. But I'm going to tell you one thing I notice about lack of education is that the companies out here take advantage of our lack of education. Probably is just as big as them lacking education themselves. Let me give you one very good example. I see littered in minority communities $300 and $500 credit cards. Now, why is that a bad thing? Because if they're giving the minority communities, and I'm not just talking about black folks, I'm talking about people of color, any poorer or minority populations, they are giving us lesser access, right, to capital. We know this. But basic things like credit cards. So if everybody gets a little $300 credit card, right, how easy is it to max out $300, Mr. Gavin?
Pretty easy.
I can sneeze and max out $300.
Couple
right?
of gas station runs.
So guess what that means? It means the people in our community, if that's all we're getting, the majority of $300 to $500 credit cards, because we're starting out, we're recovering from poor credit, we're recovering from poverty, we're recovering from things that allow us to not have as much credit access. So they're going to give us bad credit access, right? Subprime companies give us little resources. Well, if all of us are walking around, let's say we can get credit, but we're walking around with maxed out credit cards, what's going to happen to our credit scores, Mr. Gavin?
They're going to drop instantly.
They're going to drop, they're going to be low, and they're going to stay low. So unfairly, minorities tend to have lower credit scores for that dynamic.
Yeah.
Also, just not even getting access, period. We are getting things that we think are building credit. Oh, I pay my cell phone bill. Cell phone bills don't build credit. Oh, I use my debit card. Your debit card does not build credit. Oh, I'm paying these utility bills. Well, mess up on that utility bill. Then it's going to jack up your credit. So these things a lot of times we're doing that we think build credit, lack of education, are not building credit for us. And so now when we need to do business and other things, we need to buy a house, we need to buy a car, we need to buy equipment for our business, we need to get trucks for our business. We can't do it because we're so far behind on the credit frontier. So
let me just add to that. One thing that I see in talking to different, sets of people is that the credit system is just not very forgiving. That it is not forgiving at all. It has got a memory like an elephant.
It does.
And so with that being said, like I see citizens all the time, they may have 3 or 4 accounts or whatever, and they look, they may get into a tight situation. They may not even get into a tight situation. It's just that this bank is asking for a $25 monthly payment, and a lot of people look at that and say that's not that big a deal.
Right.
And say, well, I'll go ahead and make it up next month. Or I'll wait for 3 months and pay it all at one time. And think it equals the same.
Right.
Can you help expand on that a little bit?
I'll give an example of a client you had. Went out the country. This particular client was going out the country, knew they were going to be going out the country for a few months, sent what they thought was a double payment to the credit card company to cover this month and the next month. When they got back in the country and had late pays on their credit report, they were really upset. And we had to be the ones to explain to this individual, no, it doesn't work like that. The credit card company is not gonna say you sent extra money, so we're gonna allocate it for 2 different months. It does not work like that. Whatever you send is the payment for that month. And when they don't get one next month, guess what? Now you're late and your scores crash. 50 points, 100 points, easily from a late pay. So just lack of education.
Right.
And these are foreign communities too. So that happens a lot, not just in minorities and blacks and here. A lot of the foreigners that come here and are getting baptized into the credit system don't understand just basics like that. So again, lack of education.
I think one thing in conjunction with what I'm saying is that the credit system, it looks for consistency.
Absolutely.
Every single month, they want to pay them.
Yes.
And so, in essence, it's a whole lifestyle, is to be consistent in your life nature, you know.
You know what I want to say, Vince, because I say this to people, and it sounds funny when I say it, but I love to say it. Banks give money to people who don't look like they need money. Do you want me to repeat that? Banks give money to people who look like they don't need it. And that intuitively doesn't make sense. But think about it. If you wait till you're so desperate and you're hoping that that banker is going to bail you out, they're thinking you're so desperate and you're about to fall off. And why am I going to let you fall off with my money? So that is a hard concept for people to understand. We work with people proactively. We want you to build and develop, not when you're about to fall off, not when you're needy. Start building now so that when it comes to the place like we are now in these current times when other people aren't in position to get money, you will be in position to get money because all your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, your documentation's there, and you have made the efforts to personally build yourself. I think that was a good conclusion, but Mr. Gavin, let's get your final words
Let me just
on that.
get a conclusion with that. I talk to people all the time. You know, we in the world today of things being so vain. Everybody is so vain. They're so pretty. Their hair is so long. Nails are so long. We got that person. But then we got the person that says, don't you know, I got money in the bank.
Right.
I got money in the bank, you know.
And don't have no credit.
You know. Then you got that guy that says, hey, I got money in my trunk. He got money in the trunk.
Under the mattress. Under the trunk. Okay.
No matter how cute, money in the trunk, money in the bank, whatever version you want to put this, the bank or bankers do not care.
They want to see what?
They want to see those credit scores. They want to see a track record of paying numerous things consistently per month.
Yes.
And those are the people they want to do business with. In addition, you know what really tickles them?
What?
If your income is documented. Again, if you
Drilling.
have direct deposit, things like that, if they can prove that you work, those are the people bankers love to work with. That's my conclusion.
Mr.
Thanks so
Gavin,
much.
I'm very happy with that conclusion. What he said.
Okay.